Yesterday, before rain stopped play again, I started making up the base for the shed. It's not all going to be shed. It's about 2 meters, just on 2 meters long, but the first part of it sort of here is going to be just a decking platform, and then probably 2/3 of it is going to be shed. So I've got some bits of paving slabbing again on top of plastic, which unfortunately has now got wet, and I'm just going to make up this side, put some cross pieces on, screw them to this side, then turn the whole lot round, bring that bit of wood over there across to this side, and screw in from this end because I haven't got a lot of room to work over that side. And then I'm going to screw or nail all this old decking that I've got onto the top to form the shed floor. It's not ideal, as we say in the trade, but it's good solid stuff and I haven't got another use for it, so it's going to be floor for the shed. The rubble's going to go in the base before the floor goes on, just pushed to the sides to block all the gaps up so that we don't get rodents living underneath the shed. Nothing worse than rodents under your shed. So I'll do another little film once I've got the base finished, or possibly a couple of photos in between. Here we go. Today's bit of work. It's starting to look like a structure, and so on the left is going to be the greenhouse bit, and on the right is the shed bit, which hopefully won't shade our plot too much. So today we've made the base up. It's all square and level, and this end is fixed to the end of the greenhouse, so it's going to take some force to lift any of this, so I don't think I'm actually going to bother fixing it to the ground. Got paving slabs at each corner, plastic underneath, keep wood off the ground. Got a pile of rocks, as I said, we're going to put in tomorrow, well maybe Monday, and the decking which is going to go over the top from then. We've still got some more of that to bring across. We're going to fill all the gaps with rocks to stop rodents getting underneath, and anything that's left we're just going to chuck inside so that it's not a hollow base, otherwise you get things living there. Put some noggins in just to strengthen everything and make the whole base rigid. So the next job, as I said, is put the decking on, and that's for next time. First thing to do this morning was get the pile of rubble and chuck it inside the base of the shed. Two reasons for this: one, to hide a lot of rubble rather than pay to take it to the tip, and two, to try and stop rodents getting underneath the shed and living there. So I've used all the rubble I've got, packed it around the sides, and hopefully if I staple the plastic up at the side, if they manage to gnaw through the plastic, they're then going to have to gnaw through some brick as well. So next job is to start laying out the decking, which I've brought across here now, sawing it to size, screwing it down. That's the decking laid out, so we know what we need to fit, and we've got a smaller piece on the end which gives us just a tiny overlap, which is fine. I'll move that small piece into the middle of the others so that it's actually inside the shed and there's a full piece coming right to the end, but at least I know what I need to fit on it. This is all reclaimed decking that I bought off someone with loads of other wood, treated wood, for a tenner, which is a bargain, and I've still got some left as well to do the other end of the greenhouse. So I need to move that thinner one that's at the end here somewhere into the middle, and then saw them all to size and screw them down. It's easier said than done. Wherever you want to go, I'm going to go in and tick. Sorry?
It's going already.
Is it alright? So you've started, have you? Right, very good. Film the screws. You film them now? So we've got the floor onto for the shed now. Cut all the decking to size, screwed it in along the edges. Shouldn't need anything in the middle because it's quite short pieces so they won't flex, and a few along the front because that's where we're going to be stepping all the time. About 2/3 of it is going to be shed, and then the front part is going to be a platform to get into the shed, to stand on while we get into the shed and maybe work on. We'll see. Add a few things at the end. So the next bit to do is to start building the shed walls. Well, actually the next bit to do is to repair my neighbour's shed, because digging out all this size exposed all the rotten holes in their shed, so I said I'd repair it for them as a trade for recycling all the wood that they've got by the side of the shed. I got a couple more pallets the other day. I've used some of them to repair my neighbour's shed after we removed the piles of earth that you could see that the bottom was all rotten. So I've patched it up as best I can with a couple of bits of pallet wood. And what I'm going to do next, before I can go any further with the shed and greenhouse, I'm going to take all the nails out the rest of the pallet wood. I've split them up already, and then I'm going to start splitting up some of the pallets that I've got stored ready, and they're going to make up the walls of the shed to fit on my base. So for the last couple of days, in between rain, I've been smashing up pallets, breaking them up. So I've got enough wood to build a shed with, and I might have, but I might not. I've still got a couple more pallets left. I've got some long pieces and some short pieces. And what I'm doing first is I've made up a framework that fits the end of the greenhouse, and I've measured across the bottom of the greenhouse and fitted a full piece across so that it's the right width, and then I've squared that up and done the same at the top. And now I'm going to nail, cut to size these battens so they go halfway across, and nail them all the way up both sides. And I might have to adjust the position of the top thing depending on where we are with the battens. We'll find that out as we go along. And then I'll stand it all up and fix it to the end of the greenhouse. And the greenhouse now is green as well. Started painting it yesterday. Just got some cheap fence coat, stick it on the outside so it doesn't look as brand spanking new as it was. You might have mentioned this before, we also repaired next door's shed, and we're going to paint that brown before we put the sides of this shed up. Anyway, on to sawing up bits of wood. So yesterday we made this end up, 3 long pieces of pallet wood and a single piece across the bottom and a couple across the top to make sure it's all square, and then we fixed it up to the greenhouse end. We're going to paint the inside of it white because it's a greenhouse. As you can see, it's just slabs of pallet board nailed onto the 3 uprights. And today we made another side, which is going to be the back, and because it's going to be in an awkward place to get at later, we've given it a coat of paint while it's still on the ground. So we've got another one of these sides to make, exactly the same way. 3 uprights, 3 large uprights like that, made from these large bits of pallet wood, and then slats, either single if we've got any that are long enough to go all the way across, or 2 halves nailed to it. So that's what, as I said, forms the back. Make another one that will form the front, and then we'll make the end with a doorway in after that. So before we go any further, we stood the new side up, and I've just got to get all these nails, which you can see are coming through this side, and just knock them all flat like these ones, so that it holds the wood in and it doesn't jibber jabber us while we're in the shed. You can always put a little bit of lining in here if you want. You could always hardboard lining inside, but it might be a step too far, to be perfectly honest. So I'm just going to knock all these nails flat and then stand it out of the way before I make the other side. I'll do. What we've done today is make another side up, which is lying on the shed base at the moment. So you can, we've slightly run out of wood at the moment. I've got another pallet to break up, which should just be enough to do that last bit. As you can see, there's 3 uprights again, and cross pieces nailed to the uprights. And as you can see, we're recycling all the nails from the pallets, and those that are usable, we're using them into just one in each of the things, and that will hold it in. So I should finish that off tomorrow, and we'll start putting the shed together. And we gave the back of the shed, which is going to go against next door's shed, or at least in that side, and we've given it another coat so that we don't have to paint it again once we put it in place. So tomorrow, finish this side, give it a paint, and start putting everything together, and bring the door across and make the end where the door's going to go, which is somewhat more trickier than the other 3. So that's the 3rd side finished. Broken up another pallet this morning just to give me the last few pieces of wood to fill it up to the top, and that's all ready to stand on this side, which is the tallest side. So all we've got to do now is knock all these small nails flat so that they don't jabber us inside the shed, and so that it holds the wood in tight. And then paint the outside, and then we can put the 3 sides up. Okay, so we've got both sides in place now. and at the moment they're just loosely attached to these right angle brackets, but I will sort of strengthen them and fix them to the floor eventually. And we've also got the end on. I made up what is effectively a stud partition, fitted the doorway in, and then took a saw to the bottom and cut out where the door's going to go. So the next bit to do is the rafters for the roof. We get the roof ordered. It's all coming on. It's reasonably straight, reasonably level. Shed and greenhouse. We've put them together, needs a bit of paint to make it disappear, and probably the sides of the decking as well. It's all looking good.